In this video, I'm going to teach you how to come together at the same time or maybe simultaneously. There is something called the orgasm gap. It takes a long period of time for a woman to reach her climax, and that's because our erogenous spots are embedded inside of us. They're buried inside of us like a treasure. So she needs to have you as a man figure out how to excavate those treasures and polish them to perfection. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to come together at the same time or maybe simultaneously. Now, this is a usually very difficult feat to attain if you both aren't paying attention to one another's body and needs, all right? This is a feat for two people who are deeply, madly in love with each other and into themselves. So if you're a selfish person in bed, this is not a feat for you. This is not something for you because climaxing simultaneously or at the same time takes a great amount of focus, attention, and selflessness. You both must be in the moment, soaking up the heat of the moment, lost and basking in the euphoria. And boom, before you know it, you will find yourselves culminating in an earth-shattering orgasm, all right? At the same time or maybe simultaneously. Now, I need you to know, as a man and a woman, there is something called the orgasm gap that you need to know about in order for you to breach that gap so that you could achieve a simultaneous orgasm. Now, for the man who hasn't learned how to control the impulse to climax at any given point in time, you will often notice that he comes quicker than the woman he's with. And that's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. It takes a long period of time for a woman to reach her climax, and that's because our erogenous spots are embedded inside of us. They're buried inside of us like a treasure. So she needs to have you as a man figure out how to excavate those treasures and polish them to perfection. So if she's with a man who understands that it is a responsibility to take up in order to make sure that he walks her body almost close to the edge of climax before he comes, then there is no way that both of you wouldn't always reach your climax simultaneously or together. Men, you need to understand that most women need clitoral stimulation to get off. So if your man isn't lavishing attention on your powerhouse, or if you're not taking the matter into your own hands, you might never have that big orgasm during sex. How then are you supposed to climax at the same time with your partner? So it's quite funny that this thing called sex that affects the bane of our very existence is in general a topic that is not really discussed about. It is a topic that is not studied very well. And that's one of the reasons why we sometimes don't feel complete. After all said and done, we feel really empty because we're not reaching down into the recesses of our souls. Do you get what I mean? But regardless of these shortcomings, studies have found that overall relationship cannot be crappy and you expect to have a simultaneous orgasm with your spouse. It can never happen. All right? If you're not happy with your spouse outside of the bedroom, it will definitely show, and it will be so hard for you both to come together. Now, I can tell you for a fact that multiple other studies have found a correlation between, relationship satisfaction and sexual satisfaction. They're correlated. People who are happy with their partners and in their relationship are more likely to be relaxed, which invariably makes for having, simultaneous orgasms. It makes having an orgasm in the first place a lot easier. Plus, if you're comfortable in your relationship, you probably have better sex and can talk about sex easier than if you weren't. So being in tune with your partner might lead to being in tune with him in sex. Do you get the drift? So how can you have a simultaneous orgasm? Now, if you observe that you as a woman, you take a longer period of time for you to reach your orgasm than your partner does, then that's the time you need to focus on yourself more before you focus on your man. And this might mean sensual massages, making out, dry humping your man, or touching yourself, or maybe other forms of, pleasure that can get you to the edge. So you must have to bring yourself to the edge before you thrust your partner. And don't be afraid to use your toys, which helps a lot of women reach their orgasm more easily. And it also might be worth trying positions that are good for your orgasms, positions like cowgirl, all right? That's one position that can get you in control of your climax. You could try the thigh tied position, which is a variation of a reverse cowgirl. In this position, you face away from your partner with your partner's knees, prepped up, all right, in such a way that while you're thrusting, you can be grinding on his thighs. You could also do the coital alignment technique, which was designed specifically to promote, orgasm by aligning your hips during sex. Google all of this positions that I've put up here because I can't place them here due to community guidelines. I don't want to fault on that. But also remember that the goal isn't to get off before penetration. The point here is to get yourself super aroused and close to orgasm. And when you also figure out that your man is about to come, you just need to push yourself over the edge. You can continue doing this as your man enters you and begins to thrust. And while you both are in a moment, enjoying the moment, pay attention to your man's body, his breathing, his body language. And it might also help you if he lets you know when he's about to reach his climax, and also if he needs to maintain the pace or maybe slow it down so that you could catch up with him, or he could just carry on. It's all in the communication, darling. All in the communication. If you're not communicating during intercourse, I don't know what you guys have. I don't know what you're sharing. Another thing that you might try to do to prolong your man's orgasm is by, practicing edging on him. You can do this by pinching the head of his joystick right before he's about to come. And on the other hand, right, let's assume that you're almost at the edge, but your man isn't. In that case, you might want to try to make your man orgasm on time. And this you can do by talking dirty to him, by moaning, and by touching his sensitive parts so that that could aid him to get over the edge. Now, with all things said and done, one thing that I would like to warn about is how sometimes the very reason we don't have an orgasm is for the fact that we're trying to have it. I know it's counterintuitive, it's counterproductive, but it is the truth. So I need you to focus on your own pleasure and not just the goal of simultaneously reaching your climax together with your mate. Because focusing on that type of orgasm where you want both of you to climax together may distract you from your own pleasure. So if the initial goal is to come together and maybe your man is not even near reaching his orgasm, let yourself go. Just let yourself go. Because sometimes it's a lot harder for a woman to reach her edge again. All right? So if you as a woman, you've gotten to your edge and your man is still far away, please let yourself go. Who knows? By the time he's about to reach his own orgasm, you might get another orgasm. All right? Also keep in mind that sex can be amazing even if you don't get off. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Do you get? So if both you and your partner don't come during sex, you shouldn't worry too much. Not being able to orgasm at the same time doesn't mean that you're not in sync with your partner. It's just the orgasm gap. It just takes practice for you to understand how to bridge that gap. Sometimes the media just depicts simultaneous orgasm as the best type of orgasm. I think all types of orgasm is pretty okay, it's pretty special. But it's important to keep this in mind because some couples just can't crack the code to having an orgasm together, no matter what they do. And the truth be told, it's more likely to happen with a long-term partner than with a casual relationship because you both have been together, you're in sync together. So the more you practice having orgasm during sex, the more you're likely to orgasm simultaneously with your partner. And you might even orgasm at the same time by accident. Some of these things happen by accident and you're just wild and you just laugh over it. So to this end, I would say that it is certainly rewarding to have an orgasm at the same time or simultaneously as your partner. And it might definitely be something that's within your reach. You never know until you find it. But as long as you enjoy sex, and especially if you come with your partner, you shouldn't stress if you don't have simultaneous orgasm. But if you both can find out how to come together, then what you have there is special and unique and rare. And I say kudos. Okay? Anyways, this is where I stop. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video if you enjoy the content. It will help the algorithm, all right? And see you on my next video. Mwah.